Hello, Death to Chester fans. Chester Franklin here. Welcome back to another episode of Death to Chester. If this is your first time, welcome. Over the last few weeks to a month, we've had an increase in subscribers, so I just want to take the time to thank everybody who has subscribed to the podcast on YouTube. www.youtube.com/@, death number 2 Chester, just so we're clear. And I really appreciate everybody who's passing the podcast on to other people that may be interested in comedy or life stories and self-help, because that's what this podcast is here to do, is to, through personal experiences and stories, not only make you laugh, but also be a useful tool in helping others through their struggle. I have a very special guest here today, my good friend, Cherry Jones. He was here for episode 4 or 5. I think it was 4. And he has returned. And we have a part 2 to the story, as well as additional content to engage in. So, Cherry Jones, welcome back to the podcast. It's good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming back. I think last time you were here, I didn't have a couch. I didn't have this picture frame. I didn't have this lamp over here, this Pixar lamp. And so I'm living a little bit more plush now. My situation is a little bit more secure. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable in my surroundings. And I hope that this is a little bit more comfortable than the fold-out chairs that we were using the first time around. And I hope the audio quality does as well. But go ahead and introduce yourself. Well, not introduce yourself, but just, say hi to the audience, and we can get into it.
Good evening, everybody. This is Cherry Jones. I was on episode 4 or 5. I'm not entirely sure either.
So, to remind everybody what this podcast is about, it's titled Death to Chester for a reason. It's very intentional, the title of this podcast. The number 2 in the middle of Death to Chester is because this is my second iteration of podcasts. My first podcast was the Fork in Socket podcast, stories that were meant to shock you and entertain you, but shock you as if sticking a fork in a socket. I've been through quite a few life changes.
Same, really.
Yeah, I've been
for the better, of course. That's kind of what life's all really about, is just accepting, healthy change to some degree.
Healthy is the key word, healthy change, but change nonetheless. Hopefully it's healthy for anybody who's listening or viewing that are going through their changes. Hopefully it's something healthy, that you're not regressing. So being the Chester Franklin of the Fork in Socket podcast, this new iteration of the podcast, Death to Chester, is basically the death of the old me, the old version of me, into something more evolved for this iteration of my podcast. Both of us going through our life changes, Cherry, we're discovering a lot about ourselves, and we are little by little able to kind of kill off the old versions of ourselves.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And we're both going through changes. The last episode that you were a part of, we were going through relationship changes. I was losing my family for the second time. I spent 13 months away from my family. I came back into the family home as the provider and husband and father figure to my stepchildren. I came back for 8 months.
Oh, the honey, I'm home, right?
Yeah, we let's start fresh, let's start over kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was only supposed to be a 3-month kind of separation this second time around. I came home for 8 months after 13 months away. Came back for 8 months, and then we were separated. And that's the main reason why I didn't have any furniture or anything in the backgrounds, or we were sitting on fold-up chairs to do the podcast,
Right.
because there was the possibility of me returning home at some point.
That was the framework back then. It was like, oh, the situation is just temporary. Like everything's gonna go back to normal. Hopefully, like I'm doing the right thing. I'm like, showing like, hey, like I could do this. But
I've changed, or I've improved.
yeah, like,
So now I'm worthy of coming back.
yeah, worthy. That was what I was looking for.
And so when you were here last time, Cherry, you were going through something similar.
Correct. Yeah, it was a very, very similar situation. I just found myself still living with an ex-partner, and what Cherry didn't know at the time was, shitty behavior is going to stay.
You said what Cherry didn't
I'm
know.
thinking, speaking in third person.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. You're
No,
speaking
that
third
was good.
person. I haven't
Yeah.
had that happen yet.
Yeah. It's easier than self-naming.
But
I guess.
speak up into the mic,
Yeah.
or at least hold
Okay.
it closer.
So,
We were both putting an end to the old us
yeah. So
when you were here last time.
correct. Yeah. Like so, between the time from our first episode till now, the old versions of us are no longer here. This is the new beginning of either Chester or Cherry. However it's gonna go.
What we've came to realize, I learned this in AA when I was in AA for my alcoholism that I've discussed probably ad nauseum at this point. But I was always told that sometimes it's too soon to come home. I was in such a rush to try to reestablish my marriage, reestablish my place at the head of a household, to the point where I was willing to go through a second separation, give a little bit more space, and maybe gradually come back home at some point. You, in your situation, last time that you were on the episode, you had found out that your girlfriend of 3 or 4 years
Something like that. I don't even remember now.
had been cheating or had been unfaithful to some degree or another.
Correct. The pretense, or like however you look at it, it's still cheating emotionally. Like if you still have like emotional problems, you go to someone else. That's still cheating. And to however degree, it's still unfaithful.
And we can agree on that point. But that was your disposition at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you were going through. And so you had a solution to this problem of your partner, whether emotionally or physically cheating, was that you were going to eat her out so good that she could not deny the beast, the tongue of a beast, that she was attempting to leave behind and replace. She had no choice after you ate that punana. She had no choice but to accept you back and to do right by you. And in the meantime, you were working on yourself so that you would be capable of doing right by her.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
everything would be healed. Everything would be
Like,
better.
All Danny was like, hey, like, look, I can do all these things that you've been asking me to do without like worrying about like my own things going on up in here. Like I got all head on that. Boy, was I wrong. That is not the.
Yeah, it didn't
go as what was I planning. Like I said earlier, like shitty behavior is gonna stay shitty behavior as long as you like allow it.
So anybody out there going through a life change, understand that sometimes it can be too soon, but you have to definitely be open and understanding of the fact that maybe it's not too soon, it's just not meant to be. And we're both in that stage now where it's evident that there is no future with that other person. You as good of a job as you probably did. I've seen you eat a peach before on
Oh
your
my God! I thought you forgot about that.
yeah, on our lunch break. No, it's stuck in my mind because I was learning a
Oh
lot
my
from you
God!
that one lunch break when you were eating that peach. And I've never seen anybody eat a peach and still keep the pit inside the peach and be able to peel that seed out of the pit of the peach with the tip of your tongue. That takes a lot of physical fortitude. And I was very impressed by that. And it made me curious, if that was the missing link that I needed to learn, the missing skill that I needed to learn to end up saving my marriage.
Okay, so it's just that's how I was raised. So okay, so like I grew up not usually bringing utensils for a pudding cup that you have as a kid, or going camping. You don't really bring like any more utensils that you need. So I've just learned how to get anything out of a container or an apple or like any other fruit to just with my
So when you eat yogurt, you're really good at not wasting like
yeah, like
a streak of yogurt in the bottom, because if your spoon can't catch it, your tongue can.
hell yeah.
You're a professional minimalist, in other words.
Yes, minimalism. Yes.
That's how you were raised.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a weird skill set, but in my adult life, I have learned to appreciate the fact that I can perform, or oral, I guess, very well on women. I don't swing the other way.
Okay. I've
I have no complaints.
I've learned that later in my life. I'm going to be 36 years old this year, and I'm just now learning that. But I do want to thank you for being my friend, and for, as much as the age differences we do have, being a part of my life, being a friend to me. And it just goes to show you can still learn from others. And what I learned from you is that eating pussy isn't going to save your relationship.
It's a lesson I had to learn for myself. Not as far in my adult life as you. So like having this friendship. I said this earlier today. Here with Chester, was like his channel, his community. Like this has been like a good spot for me to just escape all the thoughts I have in my head and just like sit down and just watch Chester be Chester. That's what I've learned to appreciate, is like just figuring out how to learn how to be yourself, and watching someone else do it has been the healthiest thing for me to learn to do for myself.
And that's all I want to do is to help others, get through their hard times, be able to laugh, and to maybe learn from my example and the example of my guests. So, yeah, let's kind of get into that a little bit. Since the last time we spoke, just coming from my own situation, believing that the situation was going to be only a temporary 3-month separation, that there was potential for reconciliation, I continued therapy and meeting attendance, and continued trying to be this new version of Chester that you see today on this podcast, for who I thought was still my wife. I am now 6 months out of the home for the second time. So we're approaching now, 2 years out of an 8-year relationship, 2 years away from my family and kids in total. And so I pretty much got the hint. Finally, this time to myself awakened me to the fact that, if somebody wanted me back, I would have been back already. It doesn't take that much work. It's not that hard. If somebody wants you back, you'll be back. Especially a woman, they know if they want you back or not.
Exactly. That's literally how it goes. Like when it's all fresh and new, and they know that they want to be with you, want to be for you, it's known. Like no matter what angle that they have, like if you feel chosen, you will feel chosen, and you will very quickly feel not chosen when you are not chosen at all.
And the first step to feeling not chosen, from my experience, is, in the beginning when you are being chosen, you get head. Um, the last year of my marriage, I got head one time in a year. And so when you stop getting head as a man, fellas out there that are struggling, like, is my relationship healthy? A good sign of how healthy your relationship is how often you're getting head. So there was warning signs, but the clear and obvious, not solution, but the clear and obvious like sign that I wasn't returning home the second time around was just the fact that there was no attempt at reconciliation really on either side. I gave the other person space, and it got to the point where I was like, okay, I didn't want to be the one to file for divorce, but we're not going any further. We're not trying to reconcile. So I attempted to file for divorce and get the other party's input on the paperwork as far as like what we're asking for, as far as, custody of the child. Is one person staying in the house, or are we selling the house and splitting everything? And I was informed that I have been divorced since last year. So since the beginning of this podcast, when I've been in my new place, recording from the very first episode in my closet and talking about potentially, like going back home at some point, or at least thinking it, if I didn't discuss it here on the podcast, that was never a possibility from the very first episode. And so I am very thankful for the realization that I am already divorced. And in your situation, you were also trying to get your relationship back, and you thought you could eat your way back into it. What ended up happening for you?
Like I said earlier, is like when you start recognizing shitty behavior is going to stay shitty behavior. It doesn't matter what you do. You can be great. Like like I said earlier, I have no complaints about how I perform. Like from no one. No one is like nagged that I don't do it the right way or do it a weird way or like don't feel into it.
You hear that, ladies? If you want your pussy eaten, I'm not sure he's ready to jump directly into a relationship.
I'm a little fucked up in the head, but if that's all you need, that's all I can do.
And we will give Cherry's contact information at the end. Let's do it now. What's your Instagram?
Oh, the Twitch. It's Twitch.
What's your Twitch?
It's the.
How can women get their pussy eaten by you?
Come find me on Twitch, screaming my lungs out on Twitch at Pale Hovercraft. That's it.
Pale Hovercraft. Pale.
Hovercraft.
All one word?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Come get your pussy eaten by Cherry Jones.
I'm going to actually put that in the bio. That's awesome.
He will suck your uterus out.
Yeah. That like, bring it down.
We are single and ready to mingle now that we realize the old situation's dead. But with your situation specifically, what I was trying to get into was that, your method didn't end up playing out.
Correct.
And as you said, bad behavior, that continues. It stays. What did you discover after, you feel like you did your best? Your tongue was sore for a week?
4 days, yeah.
Yeah. I was looking when you were talking to me. It was like the right side of your tongue. It looks like, you've been doing bicep curls with your tongue. It's a little more plump and supple.
I think they're just kind of Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So I know that you did the best that you could. I could tell just from physical appearances when it comes to, looking at your tongue. And I guess what I'm trying to get you to come forth with is that your partner continued to be
unfaithful. It's it's when you try to hide, it becomes more obvious instead of just being outright saying, "Hey, like I can't commit to anything anymore. Hey, I can't be what I used to be. I'm gonna do this," and just like the lying or like, and it becomes so obvious. You just like when you know someone so well, you're like you can tell me the truth. Like I would have found out anyways. Doing that behavior is what gets them caught. So, like, what I don't know how they were gonna like eventually just like monkey branch to the next person. I don't know, but like being like, oh, like I'm gonna go get drinks by myself, bro. I like know the two places you go and go to find out that she actually went and saw like a Jody looking motherfucker from Shameless. Just like, oh, wow, my God. And then I was like, hey, look, I'm aware.
So you're over here like Picasso, like you're doing your life's work on this woman, trying to save your relationship. And as you put it, she ends up continuing. This is the same person from the first episode?
No, it was entirely. So that whole situation, like, is in an episode of itself. But
so she left the tweaker guy with what we described as tweaker dick that can just keep going and going and going.
No, it was meth dick.
Meth dick. Yeah, tweaker.
Same thing. Same shit.
Tweaker is associated with meth. Being through the programs and stuff like that, AA, NA, and all that, I don't mean to offend any of my friends or people of the audience when I do speak like that, but that's just kind of like the vernacular. Somebody who uses meth, like it's tweaking or... Well, it's not to put anybody down or to talk negative about them, except in this case because, we don't support Cherry Jones getting cheated on. Do we, audience? No.
Yeah, I think I heard that too.
Yeah. So you find out not only is she still cheating, she's cheating, or not only is she not being loyal or trying to repair this relationship with you, she is doing it with a new somebody. So she's still, playing the field, so to speak,
and watching like someone's life just like implode because of a combination of bad behavior, not healthy patterns combined with not taking care of themselves in the right healthy way, like I've been doing. Just watching someone sink is. It sucks, but what can you do?
And that is the blessing of heartbreak. Anybody going through heartbreak right now, a change in your life situation, the beautiful part of losing your old life is that you gain a new one. And you may be doing things, I got sober for the wrong reasons. I was doing it, well, it felt like the right reasons. I was doing it for my family and whatnot. I was doing it for my marriage. You were... bettering yourself,
bettering myself, so I could be
for somebody
to be a
specific somebody.
But now I just realize like you can't have that mindset. Like you can't just build yourself up for someone else. You build yourself up for you, so you can be what you want to be. For example, I thought I wanted a wife and kids. No, I'm building myself up to be someone's husband and father one day. It's a completely different mindset. The old Cherry approach was not going to work. New Cherry, on the other hand, for the last 4 months has captivated this gigantic gravity that's just paving this secure way through my life. So much for the better.
A newsflash for you, Cherry. Welcome to the party. Pretty much everyone who's seen the last episode knew from the jump that your approach wasn't going to work.
Yeah, live and learn, guys. I know.
It's hard to accept sometimes, man, especially when you got a hot piece of tail at home. It's hard to move on. But Cherry, I've just in our discussion before we even started recording the podcast and whatnot, I'm very happy with your progress, and we kind of delved into, we kind of shared similarities in our journey, not only trying to change for somebody else, only to realize that only to end up realizing our actual value and that we are now changing for ourselves and that this positive change is something that we want to continue with or without that person.
Yeah, that's right. The carrying yourself to like not rely on like trying to belong or like needing someone like always next to you is such a stronger, secure personality that just to have in life in general.
And where we had the commonality in our situation, beyond that point was, we've both been in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
My therapist pretty much told me I'm right where I need to be. Meanwhile, I was in bed suffering from depression, praying to die again, guys. I had hit that little stage again, um, feeling like I was, fighting a losing fight, and just not wanting to live if I couldn't live, with that person. And when you really get down to the base of it, even though my therapist didn't seem to help me because they were just telling me that's where I'm supposed to be at, I'm right where I need to be. It's like, okay, what am I paying you for? I'm paying you to help me be different. But we both kind of like realized in our personal discussions off the podcast that the reason why we continue to chase these people that don't really want us is that, we had underlying mother issues.
Yeah, we got big mommy problems. That's for sure. Like, we both like older women. We both like crave that like nurturing role that we didn't really have as a kid, and the people that we did get that kind of nurturing aspect was from our adult relationships, which really sucks because it just either reinforces that old abandonment wound or it can heal it. It's a really weird segue to go through life finding these people that either can hurt you or make you better. It's just really annoying.
For me, the biggest wake up call was when being separated, being divorced, not knowing I was divorced, because you could still make mistakes in recovery. Just because you're sober doesn't mean you don't make stupid decisions still. And when I got served divorce papers for the second time in my life, I didn't read the papers and I ripped them up out of frustration. And that was a big mistake on my part because the other party got everything they asked for. I didn't even show up for the court date. And, that was a big mistake on my part. It didn't turn out terrible for me, but yeah, it was nonetheless the mistake. I was going to make a different point regarding that, but basically, the biggest wake-up call was the fact when I got sick during my separation. I recently fell ill, and I was so used to that woman that could be that motherly role of making me soup, bringing me water, making sure that I'm okay, giving me a bag if I needed to throw up or a bowl, and not having that for the first time was really kind of a hard pill to swallow on top of being sick, that I don't have that person to nurture me. And the important thing that I learned from that is that I don't need somebody else. I can nurture myself, take care of myself, and God will take care of me. And so you have abandonment issues with your mother. I had abandonment issues with mine. That's what we looked for in another partner.
Yep.
And now here we are. How has your journey been since you've come to your realization that you're not going to have that woman there to take care of you, to nurture you? Are you looking for another relationship right away? Are you continuing to work? What's your journey right now, Cherry, since our last episode?
Since the last episode, like coming to that realization that like no matter what I do for someone that doesn't want me in the entirety that I would want to be wanted in, if that makes any sense. Yeah. For the aspect of feeling chosen or being like that, you're a person, I never got that back. And then after realizing I'm never going to have that kind of connection with this person anymore, I realized I need to be like my own person, like love myself, which I've always really, really struggled with. I think even Chester, you've mentioned that you don't love yourself either. Like I don't love myself in the aspect. So it's little Cherry, he went away, and then just recently he kind of came back out. So that's where I'm at in my process, is like doing everything that little Cherry would want to be doing, and growing from that.
First of all, that was in confidence. You weren't supposed to tell the whole audience that I don't love myself.
I was gonna tell him that, so why not?
Second of all, I do love myself. I make sure that I fuck my hand once a day.
Okay,
That's
so he's right. He loves himself more than. Okay, you love yourself more than I love myself, because I don't every day.
And that's your problem. Cherry, tug that dick, man. Tug it. Because I did try to jump into other relationships too soon. I am not a bad-looking guy. I'm well aware. I'm reminded fairly constantly. I got a pole on me. Call me Santa Claus. I got that North Pole on me.
Oh,
Even though
that ho ho ho,
it kind of points west, but I got that North Pole on me. Yeah, it curves to the left.
Yeah, same.
From the excessive masturbation over the years, but I did try to replace the old relationship. I was somebody that tried to replace an old relationship with a new one. I did find a really great person, but at the stage in my healing, it just wasn't going to work, because I just felt like it was maybe more convenient to continue to exercise that self-love of masturbating once a day, and
instead of
the other person's going to want you to dick them down eventually, you know?
Yeah.
And I wasn't emotionally there. Still probably I am not. But I'm glad that your approach was that you're not just trying to replace one person with another, or start completely like just fresh, but like with a relationship. You're working on yourself. What tips or whatever, ideas or can you give to somebody who's going through a separation, a breakup? They've discovered they've been unfaithful, or their partner's been unfaithful. What's been working for you? You're back on Twitch. I know that.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are the things you're doing?
The daily things outside of like your normal like 9 to 5 8-hour job. There's a lot of free time that you now have that you don't spend on a person that's not going to be beneficial for all that energy. So I'm a creature of habit. I love having a routine. So I try to get up at like 9 a.m., do at least an hour of chores, and then I get ready for work. So I have this like little me time to like organize my space, or like my thoughts for the day, or if I have time to like get on my little like self-help like notebook and like try to do a page. That's just like some stuff I do before my workday as a man to provide that I need to do every day. After work comes the actual like self-building things I need to do. I decompress from the day. I can work out, go on a run, walk my dogs. That's the 3 choices I give myself after work. So something to physically release these endorphins from a stressful job. Highly recommend. Just do something at least physically strenuous from I think I spend between 30 minutes to 2 hours of either working out, walking my dogs, or doing some other chore just to release these endorphins. Like you mentioned, I did start streaming again, so having a creative outlet is also a really healthy part of your brain, just to kind of escape all this negative stuff that you might be feeling right now. So you have a lot of free time now. Start filling it with the space that you won't waste time on negative things. Be creative. Be productive.
Or waste time in bed. Yeah, just overall being productive. Even if being productive is just getting your laundry done. Not just washing your balls, but scrubbing your balls with a loofah.
random tangent. I actually saw an ad today about a silicone like washer head that goes on your, like if you have a like the handheld like shower heads, you could take that top off and put a silicone thing on it, and you can wash your dick with it.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
thought you were
even
gonna say
kidding.
fuck it.
No, oh, that I guess if you don't got the girth for it, then yeah, you'd just be washing it. But
If you don't got the girth for it, you're just gonna be like spraying yourself like an elephant in Thailand.
yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah, just spraying yourself like an elephant.
But there's a shower head that you stick your dick in.
I guess it just screws on the top and it shoots water in every direction.
It shoots water. Well, does it shoot the water in your hole?
No, it just goes around like a loofah, just with water.
You don't trust the water that runs down your body.
No, I do.
You want to like
but
power wash.
There's like some people that do, I guess, need to power wash some.
That person being Elmer Torres
Oh, yeah.
of Over the Fence podcast, which he still hasn't come out with an episode in like 3 years. He was telling me he was going to restart his podcast. Hopefully, I can influence you, Elmer. If you're watching this podcast, this is probably my third time in the last 8 episodes, mentioning your name of your podcast. We need you to get started. Just like Terry Robbins, shout out Terry Robbins. He was also a guest on the Death to Chester podcast. And when he was on the episode, he was iffy about starting a podcast. He has started his podcast. So when I want to get him on here to promote it himself, but there is a Terry Robbins podcast out. It is, I'll get the name here shortly. But Elmer could probably really, in any event, Elmer could probably really benefit from that power washer shower head because he still has his foreskin. He's not circumcised. So
Oh my god.
he definitely, if you're not circumcised, where can they find this dick power washer?
I actually saw it as an ad for on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, it was on the shorts, and I was scrolling and I saw it just all willy nilly.
And if you think your dick's clean enough, just turn off the water, and it's silicone, correct? You said silicone.
It said silicone.
Silicone. So go ahead and put a little shampoo or body wash on it. Turn off the water so it doesn't wash all that away, and go ahead and fuck yourself with your shower head. I'm very excited about the future because I've been seeing a lot of these AI robots that they're coming out with.
No,
Like there was one, it was like this Asian robot, and her body looked like a robot, but she had this like silicone head, like and face and everything that looked very realistic. It can make facial movements and everything like that, just like us reacting
like,
to each other
like
talking.
some like iRobot and stuff.
Yeah,
just robot body, human face.
The guy put his thumb in this robot's mouth, and she closed her lips around his thumb.
Oh my god.
And so very soon, people like us are not going to have to worry about like chasing these women or feeling guilty about.
You can literally pre-order yourself an Android 18.
Yeah, when these robots get better and we can just fuck them, like I'm going robot, man.
I don't blame you. They're more. They don't got messed up software.
Well, they won't cheat on you. That's number one.
That's what I meant. They don't have messed up software. Like they're just being programmed to do whatever. That's a little demented thinking, but
yeah, they don't have baby daddies that used to beat them or like damage them. So when they get to you, you're trying to fix them. All you have to do is reinstall the software if needed. Because I will be truthful. I don't hit women. I've only hit a woman twice in my life, and it's not something that I, that's a habit or something that I do, but I will probably with the first, software that comes with the sex robot, I will probably be a little heavy-handed with, just to get out my old software, my past trauma. I will probably, be a little abusive with the robot until the next update, and where I can refresh it and make it forget that that it was abused.
Like I said, I don't have that demented line of thinking, but
It can't call the cops on you.
Well, until they put in like robot laws or like robot rights or whatever that they have in these futuristic movies.
No, robots are not gonna have rights. Well, they won't have rights as long as you and I. Are you a voter?
I am a voter.
As long as we don't vote for them to have rights. I'm trying to veer away from the misogynistic message of my Valentine's Day podcast episode. You haven't heard it yet.
No,
but,
I'm a little behind.
I am trying to kind of like veer away from that, but any man that's frustrated with a woman needs to realize, if you're frustrated with like the freedom of women and they're too independent, they don't need a man anymore. If that kind of frustrates you because you're just trying to find a woman that wants to be a partner for you,
or submissive,
and these women are fiercely independent nowadays.
I'm not really a complainer of the independence.
It started a long time ago when we gave the women the right to vote. You do realize that men are responsible for that. We had to vote as men as a whole when we were the only ones able to vote. We had to vote for women to be able to vote. We gave that to them. We voted, women should vote. And so it's our responsibility the second time around. We see the beast that we've created. When these AI robots start becoming a little more sentient, instead of pressing the startup button for a blowjob, they start just blowing you at will. When they start kind of getting to that phase, we just need to make sure we don't cast a vote in approval of their rights to also vote or have rights. We have to kind of be able to keep them within a certain bounds.
Yeah, we don't want no Skynet happening either.
I think, you mess up once, shame on you.
Mess up twice, shame on me.
Yeah, the second time no shame on me this next time around when these robots become more sentient.
No, that kind of ties into play with like you finding out that you've been divorced and then me finding out that this shit's not going to stop. Yeah, no second chances this time. That's probably why I'm not going to continue dating or anything like that for a while. I don't trust anybody right now. That's why I like hanging out with the homies on their podcast.
There we go. Homies getting together on the podcast. That's the best source of healing. And so, yeah, just welcome back, man. Really appreciate you being here. And with all that kind of stuff out of the way, I mean, we have some time left on this podcast. What are some things that you want to talk about? I mean, what have you been up to? What's new? What realizations have you had? What hobbies have you been getting into?
Yeah,
just what's been going on, man?
So last couple months, like I said, I have a lot of free time now, so I've just been kind of doing what like little Cherry would do, and man, I've been pretty happy doing just the first 3 things I started. Like, I never really made model cars or airplanes like my dad or grandpa did. I actually just made figurines and crap like that. So I've been doing that a little bit, and actually I make little jewelry too. I'm actually learning how to wire wrap and just being creative.
Listen, audience. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need a woman. Make figurines and jewelry.
And that goes into later Cherry life. I played video games and started learning music, and now I stream pretty consistently. I've streamed almost a week actually. I think had a stream 4 days in a row, and my last one, it was a little bit more musical, and I haven't really done live music since the end of high school. So getting back into that was kind of hard too.
What kind of music do you make?
If you could turn on your garbage disposal and then turn it off, that's what I sound like.
You sound like trash.
Yeah, it's trash right now. I'm not very good. I will admit, but I'm having a good time trying.
I don't know, man. I heard that little 30-second clip. You sounded a little
Oh, that was just like,
Blink 182 Green Day-ish, if that's not insulting to say.
yeah, Green Day sucks, sellouts. But yeah, like I appreciate the honesty. Like I'm just hypercritical about my creation. Like I don't take pride in things I create without like validation from like strangers or anything like that. Like that, and it's kind of something I'm working on. I just wanted to do it for me. So within the last 2 days, I have been just doing it for me, not like for validation and like seeking approval. I'm just having a good time screaming my lungs out till I sound like, I don't know, sandpaper rubbing together.
Do you have any plans on recording any new music anytime soon?
I do have 2 songs written. One is like about being content about betrayal, and then the other one's like the B side. So like picking yourself up. If you know the song "Composure" by August Burns Red, it's kind of like that. The lyrics are very similar. I didn't mean to write it that way. It was like all like freehand written. I had like no inspiration, no nothing. When I started working on it, I was like, oh, this kind of sounds like something I grew up with. And well, that's kind of what happens with music creation. You kind of make stuff that sounds like other people. So I'm right there at the beginning of like, oh, what do I want to sound like? The lyrics are me. The sound sounds like everybody else.
Where do you plan on releasing this music when you're ready?
Expect it mid-May.
But where? Like
right.
YouTube or?
It'll be on Twitch for now at Pale Hovercraft, and then it'll be on the clips. And then when I want it actually on like mainstream, I'm probably gonna start working on Spotify.
And can I encourage you to return to the podcast so that we can promote the music when it's done and
when I get
ready to go?
the single out, yeah, we'll definitely bring it on the podcast. It'll be in a little box somewhere above my head, and I will cringe at myself, but you guys will have a good time.
That's good. I'm very happy to hear that because, again, this podcast is about the death of the old self, the growth and the evolution of the new self. I encouraged Terry Robbins, and he was also encouraged to be a guest because he's seen our episode. So, now he's doing his own podcast. Let me pull up the name of his podcast. Terry, I apologize. I'm subscribed to you, and I don't have the name of your podcast ready on hand here. And then so I encouraged him to follow his hobby, his pursuit of finding himself. He started his podcast, and now I'm wanting to encourage you with your music.
I appreciate that encouragement. I said it earlier, but like this podcast, just the content from his episodes are like a really weird switch in my brain just to like remember why I'm doing what I'm doing for myself. Is like I can watch someone else's growth to inspire mine. You don't want to rely on something like that, of course, but just having a quick little reminder of like, hey, like there's other people going through the same shit. There's other people that got the same problems as you, or just you want something to relate to. This is the podcast where it's going to be so diverse in stories, life experiences, lessons, and just the jokes, really. It's just way different than what's out there right now. And I think this world just needs a little niche, and that's what this is.
And Terry Robbins has his niche. His podcast is called The Haunted Observer.
Oh, that's fucking sick.
And this is the cover art, and of course, right when I put my phone up to it, it fucking disappears. See if I can refresh that. Let's see. No. It's fucked. But everybody go check out The Haunted Observer by Terry Robbins. He just came out with his third episode. Let's let that camera focus in. the Haunted Observer.
Yeah, he's
Shout
got.
out Terry Robbins. He hasn't offered for me to be on his podcast, unfortunately. I'm still waiting on that, Terry. But yeah, just the important thing, especially if you're going through a sobriety journey as I was going through, is to definitely find healthy hobbies and things that you enjoy. You enjoy tattoos.
I do enjoy
And
tattoos.
You want to show off your new work since you've been here?
Oh, that's right. I got this.
You got your whole hand blasted,
Yes.
basically.
I got the bat for what we do professionally, outside of like content creation. So we're both vampires, so to speak. And I got some symbols that are close to me. So I like the pentagram, but the old meaning for the 5 elements. I got my triple moon goddess because I like alignment of energy and shit like that. I got an L for my biggest problem, which is limerence, and that's the hardest thing I'm working on, is like learning to not over obsess or like be infatuated by pretty things. And then the Ouroboros to remind myself not to eat myself.
Show it close to the camera so everybody can see the work, man.
Oh, and then I got that one in Hawaii.
There we go. Change, growth. You went on a trip to Hawaii.
That was sick too.
You get any?
It stormed every single day that I was there. I was there with my mom, and so her being a local there officially, like knowing all these cool spots, was just a nice little escape from the bullshit.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did your mom get that when you got a tattoo? Did your mom get the matching tattoo?
We got tattoos at the exact same time.
So there we go. We haven't touched on this though, because going back to your trauma, putting away the old you, forming into the new you, in order to stop chasing, the missing mother of your childhood that you searched for in a partner. You took the very brave step of, you're kind of mending things with your mother, and that's going to be very important for your growth moving forward when you can finally put that to rest.
Yeah,
I commend you for that, for sure.
It's not hard for like anyone to like just like outright just come home and like, hey, like I'm going through this. I need my mom and dad back. That's kind of the cool thing. But like if you have like still a connection with your parents and it's not 100% close, getting that closer, it's worth trying out. And that trip kind of really brought me and my mom a lot closer. Like, granted, it wasn't on the best circumstances. I was just trying to escape from my living situation and like stuff from my job, which like it's just you have no escape. That being an escape was just a good thing for like my growth, my mental health, and it was an awesome experience when ziplining in a storm. And then once saw the volcano, and it was like, since it was still raining everywhere, the vents were really going off. That was really cool to see how powerful Earth can really be, because it was right there in the middle of the Ring of Fire, that volcano that we're at.
I've been to, I believe, 8 or 9 different states now. One of my personal goals is to hit all 50 states. I'm hoping that in June I have some vacation time coming up, so I want to go to Seattle. The only western states that I haven't hit yet, because I'm going by section of United States. I mean, I've been to Florida and Louisiana, which is the South, but I haven't completed all the western states yet. I still need New Mexico, Washington, and Montana, and then I would have hit all of the western states. So I think in June I'll probably go. I think that's a good time of year to probably check out Seattle. So that's me getting in touch with something that I enjoy, which is travel, and taking a trip on my own, all by myself. Because I went on my last trip. I went to Colorado and Wyoming for the second time, so it doesn't add to my number of states I've been to. But I went there last year, and I was with somebody, and I didn't get any pussy on my trip. So this time around, being solo, maybe go get some Strange by the Space Needle, kind of get back into the things that I enjoy.
Go get yourself a lot lizard.
Yeah. Well, they talk a lot of shit about those lot lizards. We have, truck stops all up and down the 99, which goes from, I believe, Manteca all the way down to L.A.
Yes.
And so highway or freeway Route 99, there's a lot of Love's truck stops and stuff like that. Been there many times. I have not indulged in a lot lizard. I have a hard time. I am so capable of getting pussy for free, but at the same time, I just feel like it would just be a life experience that maybe one day I'll come to terms with buying a lot lizard or something for the cheap. Get my gas, get my $6 a gallon gas, and maybe a blow job on the side, and
a little polish.
Yeah, get a little polish, polish on the turtle shell, and just to be able to heal and get that new shine to me. Yeah, there's no
get a new shine, or you can get a couple shots.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I've never had an STD, and there's this thing that people do. They're called bug chasers. I heard this on another.
Oh yeah,
on
they
another
literally
podcast.
will like shut you down from like you will get a warning like when you get checked into like a certain like health department. I think one of
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh shit.
There's people called bug chasers, and they intentionally go and get an STD.
Oh,
They get the bug. And chlamydia and gonorrhea is something that you're able to heal from, right?
yeah.
I've never had that. I've had women of all types of ages and ethnicities and everything. I've had a threesome. I've experienced a lot, and I've never had an STD. So I think at some point in my life, obviously I don't want like any of the hard hitters, the HIV.
HIV, HPV, hepatitis.
HPV is not a big deal.
You can pass it.
I don't want
genetically.
HIV. I don't want HIV or herpes, something that's like long lasting. But I think maybe you're right, man. Maybe like a part of turning this new leaf is do a little bug chasing. Yeah, get a little shot. Get a little shot.
Get a
Take
couple
some
pills
pills.
of Bactrim.
Yeah, that's a life experience I haven't had yet. So
Well, one of your buddies on one of your stories, he has like a warning right when he gets checked into hospitals. Like he gets flagged. Like he's a frequent flyer of like STDs. Like homie busts water.
Charlie St. Cloud. I haven't talked to him in many years. He became a drinking buddy of mine because he's quite a bit younger than me, and he turned 21 while we were friends. And I do get blamed a lot for his alcoholism. He did have his first drink and all that kind of stuff on his own. So I was just more of a drinking companion, but I wasn't looking out for his best interest as he was sinking into the depths of alcoholism. I didn't even have the tools to really help him. So I know he ended up getting into cocaine, unfortunately, but he was a very good friend, and I was unfortunately a very bad mentor for him. I was not a good support system or a healthy friend for him. But I hope he's doing well. Haven't talked to him in many years, but yeah, he got gonorrhea and chlamydia so many times that he was a threat to the state. The government in his medical health chart would put a warning, when you go into his health chart to help him with his care, whether you're drawing his blood or he's doing a doctor visit, you have to get into the patient chart and pull out some doctor's orders in order to take care of a patient. And he had a instant warning right on the front cover that he was a threat of being a super spreader of STDs because he in maybe a month or two he caught gonorrhea and chlamydia 3 or 4 times, and he was an unintentional bug chaser. I think he just didn't care. But Charlie St. Cloud, if you're
tired of the dick cheese or something, I don't know.
If you're out there, Charlie St. Cloud, man, I love you. I hope you're doing well. And if we can ever get back in touch with each other, I'll be a way better friend to you, and I would love to help you in your recovery so you can experience the growth that we're experiencing and put that past behind you, bury it, maybe continue your podcast, do a new reiteration of your podcast as well. But everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the podcast. We are getting ready to, unfortunately, hit our hour mark, which I believe will cut this episode off.
Yeah.
We can definitely record another episode anytime that you're ready. Tonight or otherwise. And because I know there's other stuff you wanted to touch on that we didn't get to.
Oh yeah,
this episode, but
that's just like how these episodes can go. Is like you can find a point that you want to branch off of, and I like that stuff. Keeps the series going.
So we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. I hope it was helpful. We are 22 seconds over the episode, so we'll see if this publishes.
It should.
But thank you for being here.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate your journey and the lesson that it serves for me and hopefully to the listeners. All right, everybody. You take care. Until next time, this is Cherry Jones, Chester Franklin. We're signing out. I love you guys.
Peace.
Bye-bye.